I was thinking today why I made the decision to break up with my ex the day I did do that. And it's very interesting. Like, we were making a cycling video that day, and I was trying to direct her in the frame on where to be, most ideally situated. It was a rough, rocky road. It was like really, it was downhill, a lot of big rocks, a lot of potholes. So it was really dangerous, and I was filming one hand. So I was kind of anxious just from that situation. I was putting my body at risk. Um, and she was kind of like off left to the frame and not really in a good place. So I said to her, I got frustrated because it kept happening over and over. So I said, like, I probably said it like, can you just get in the middle of the frame already? Something like that, like where I was frustrated. And she's like, can you just stop please talking to me that way? Everything I do is wrong. And I was like, I have no idea what was happening. I don't remember saying anything she did was wrong. Maybe I did and didn't know. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying I'm gaslighting someone. Like, I just don't remember doing that. But I didn't feel like she was doing a lot wrong. So I think I just snapped there. And I was like, this is the day. Because there's a question, like, this was a slow process for me over 2 years at least, maybe 2.5, where I kind of knew this had to be done. Why did it happen this day? Well, finally that day I had enough where I was willing to risk something big. You know what I mean? I was finally at a breaking point where I was willing to risk something big, and I did risk something big. I risked our relationship, I risked our band, I risked the future, a safe future that I thought we had. And now I don't have safety. I don't have a band. I don't have my friend. She's gone forever. And it's like, yeah, why was I willing to do it that day? I guess that day something clicked where I'm like late 40s. I'm getting older. That's a pressure of time to do the things you want to do on your bucket list. Meanwhile, someone's somewhat holding you back from doing that. I felt like when she said that, she had just gotten in a fight with her parents, and it sounded the exact way she talked to her parents. So I was thinking, now I'm going to be compared to her parents. So I think all those things just made me kind of snap and realize this is the moment. This is terrifying. I actually went to say it. I stopped. I thought it. I stopped. I said, this is safe. She's mostly like really good for you. And then I finally just like exploded and said it. And it was like, yeah. So I just wanted to share that experience for anyone out there dealing with this kind of thing. Like, there might be a day where the day before you didn't say it. And then this day was the day to say it. Why does it happen? Well, you realize you're willing to take the risk. That's what it comes down to. And the risk you're taking is that you believe you can be happier. It's come to the point where you believe you can be happier. So I think that's what's happening. I think that's what happened that day. I think ultimately this is going to make me happier and stronger, even though, I'm feeling sadder right now. I had to cut off my ex. I think this is super healthy. Like, my perspective on that is like, she's probably getting some safety by being able to talk to me as a friend. And it probably makes, she's in an easy position. She's with friends. She already found a guy. She's getting the attention she wants. She's probably on like dating apps and guys are liking her and she's getting all the attention she wants. But I'll tell you what I'm doing is doing a lot of healing. I'm not doing that. Some of it's because it's hard. It's hard for a guy to go on a dating app and get a ton of attention. So I can't get my validation that way. Instead, I'm going out to social events alone and I'm meeting new people and I'm getting my validation that way. And it's great. I've met like 10 new friends already. So some of it's practical like that. I just can't go. Girls, like, just have it somewhat easier. If you're an attractive girl, you could just go on a dating site and get a ton of likes and probably a ton of dates and probably a ton of dick. But at the end of the day, that's not what life is about. Life is about deep connections, at least in my opinion. And I think the way I'm going about it is good. even though it's somewhat by force, like I don't have girls beating down my door for like some older guy, but some of it's by force like that. I know I'll find someone because I'm fucking hilarious and, you know, I'm relatively smart. Well, actually, I'm quite smart, even though I sound stupid sometimes. But I'm funny. I'm smart. I'll find someone. It's going to take me longer than her, though. It's the reality. But I feel like I'll find someone awesome. And I guess that's the risk I was willing to take that day, is that there's something about her personality. I've talked about it in prior videos. We could have been great friends because I love her as a friend, and parts of her that I'll always love. Before we broke up, I said to her I'd always be in her corner. That was before she betrayed me. Now I'll never be in her corner. Unfortunately, that's a permanent decision for me. It's not like a knee-jerk reaction. I've actually really thought through that, and I have to hold myself to a standard. Even if I want to be friends with her, I have to hold myself to a standard. Else people just trample all over you. And the way to earn respect from people is having standards. And I have high standards in dating. I'll only date attractive women who are smart, and I'll only date standout women. I won't settle for things. And I'd rather be alone than do that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Like, you have to have standards. My standard is, my standard was very clear to her. I said to her, like, the moment you texted this guy and asked him on a date, we were permanently done. That was a decision you made, a decision I asked you not to do. And my standard is I don't accept that type of betrayal. So I have a standard where I'm just never going to do that. So it's empowering in a way to have that standard, to say, so it's great. If anyone could do that, do it for yourself. It'll help to have standards. But what I was getting at was, something clicked that day, and I felt I could do better, and that's why it happened that day. And if you're out there contemplating this decision, you should try to contemplate it in a way where the sooner the better, because the sooner you know already, and it's not fair to you or the other person. That's what I learned. Like, I could have told her at age 34 she would have had more time to have kids and a family and stuff, find a proper person for her, But I told her at age 36 or whatever. So, you know what I mean? It's like I wasted 2 years of both our lives when I kind of knew. I don't know if I knew, but I guess that's the problem. You have to know for sure, So, yeah. If you know for sure, you should do it right away. And even though it's hard, it's also empowering. You now have a life that you want to go live, that you could go try to live. You might fail. I might fail, I might try to get out there and not find someone better. It's a very real possibility. But I was at a point where I was willing to try that. I knew the risk was being alone. And I guess somewhere in my mind, I felt like it had come to the point for me where being alone was better than being in a relationship where everything was fading for me and everything was becoming too mundane for me and everything was just kind of it was feeling Groundhog Day to me. Like, there was no real excitement in my life. Like, I've had more excitement in the last 2 weeks going out meeting new people than I had in the last 2 years. So you know what I mean? Like, so just get out there, do it. If you know, get out there, do it. If you don't know, try to figure it out as soon as you can. That's my advice as a older man who just went through this. That's my advice.